Matthew McConaughey is back to voice Buster Moon just in time for Christmas in Illumination's latest animated feature, Sing 2. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new animated film Sing 2, arriving just in time for Christmas. In fact, it's a year late. It was supposed to come out Christmas Day of 2020, but of course with COVID that did not happen, so pushed it back to this week. Although it's not necessarily a Christmas movie, but the first one had a December premiere as well, so maybe that sort of makes sense with their line of thinking. But before we get into the specifics of this film, I do want to welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video and indeed my channel as well. If you like what you're about to see, you can click the subscription button down below there and possibly the notification bell as well if you'd like to be informed of all my TV and movie review drops. But let's talk about this movie. So Sing 2, I'll put it out there that I enjoyed the first Sing. I think I gave it somewhere in the B range, maybe even a B plus. I really did enjoy that first movie a lot. I wasn't really clamoring for a second one, but of course, anything in animation that even remotely takes off, because they are relatively cheap to produce, they will just crank out the next one. And this one starts out very strongly. Well, once you get past the super annoying Minions intro where they're singing the Illumination theme song or whatever. I can't stand the Minions. I think they're so annoying. They're cute and funny for about 2 minutes in the Despicable Me movies, but I can't believe they're making another Minions movie by themselves. But anyway, and so right away I'm like, ugh, I'm annoyed about that. But then the actual movie of Sing 2 starts off with, to me, one of the greatest songs of all time, Prince, Let's Go Crazy, and it actually starts off Prince's Purple Rain movie as well, so sort of a nod, I think, to that they're starting in that direction. And then, shortly after that, we have a really good unintentional joke, I think, because this movie was slated to be released a year ago, but there's a joke about the Scarlett Johansson character, Ash, who is this porcupine punk rocker, and she's giving the manager at the club a bunch of crap because he's not paying her enough money, and she's like, I know what I'm worth, and to me, I'm like, oh, that's funny, in retrospect now because of all the Black Widow stuff, but of course, they wrote this movie long before that, so I just thought that was a nice sort of little Easter egg, I guess. But in any event, we see sort of the plot develop from there. Basically, Buster Moon is trying to break his talent into the mainstream, into the big time once again. Basically, they plan to perform in this fictional Red Shore City and put on a show for this huge media mogul, while at the same time attempting to enlist a legendary rock star to perform with them, who has been out of the spotlight for over 15 years after the death of his wife. And I am wearing my U2 shirt in honor of this movie because Bono, the lead singer of U2 right there, voices that aging singer that has not performed in a while. The name is Clay Calloway. Obviously, sort of a little bit of a take, I think, on Cab Calloway from, the 20s and 30s, the jazz musician. But he is this, big lion, and, if you saw the preview, you sort of know that they're looking to get him back into the spotlight while, Buster's sort of trying to save his own butt in the process because he's promised that he will get this Clay Calloway to do the show, even though he's never even met him. So, this movie has a bunch of problems, not the least of which I think is the incredibly large cast. So the first movie had a big enough cast, but here we almost double the number of animals and singing animals and dancing animals that we have to sort of get to know. The poster alone has 14 names on it, which is insane. So other than the ones I've mentioned, Matthew McConaughey, Bono, Scarlett Johansson, returning from the original movie, you've got Reese Witherspoon, Taron Egerton, Tori Kelly, Nick Kroll, and then adding to the mix Bobby Cannavale, Halsey, Pharrell Williams, Chelsea Peretti, Eric Andre, Letitia Wright, Nick Offerman. So this is just a packed movie. And because of that, we don't really get a lot of character development. Even with some of the main characters, there's a little bit. I think the most development we get really is with that Clay Calloway, the Bono character, because we didn't know him from before, and so the movie's not necessarily, about him solely, but he is certainly one of the keys to the main plot. So, we do focus a lot of our time and energy on that character and getting to know him, whereas everybody else kind of falls by the wayside. In addition to that, this movie shares a similar issue that Addams Family 2 dealt with a few months ago, and I think that is a worse movie than this. But the matter of just throwing every song in the book, into the picture and hope that something sticks. It's so whiz bang whiplash. I don't know whether I'm coming or going, because every 35 seconds they're starting a new song, and they've run the gamut of popular current pop songs and current rock songs to old standards like the Prince song "Let's Go Crazy," and there's a lot of U2 music in this movie. In fact, 3 different U2 songs play very prominently, and then there's a new, I don't know if it's Bono solo or U2 song at the end of the movie as well, sort of over that final scene, and in the start of the credits. So there's 4 U2 songs really throughout this movie sang by the characters. It's too much all at once. Now, I will say I did actually get a little bit choked up and emotional at the final scene, the big concert performance that they have. But not as much as the original. I actually was I only saw the original once, but I was definitely crying at what was going on in the original. I thought that the characters were laid out a lot better in the original, and here it's all remember when you liked this character way back when? We won't give them a lot of development, but here they're going to sing a song for you, or 45 seconds of one. I guess the Tori Kelly elephant character does get a little bit of an arc here, or at least a story of some sort. Taron Egerton's gorilla gets a little bit of a story. Everybody sort of has maybe a scene to kind of, be dedicated to them. But the movie is way too overstuffed. The songs are just coming at you way too fast and furiously. They're changing them up so much you don't know if you're coming or going. And to be honest, I remember getting more laughs from the first one. There's a few good jokes here, but not many, really. I remember really, enjoying the humor of that first one more than this one. So overall, this is certainly a bit of a mixed bag for me, but I will leave Sing 2 with a pretty average C. I thought about maybe giving it that C+, because I did get sort of choked up at the end, but honestly, it was not enough to push it up to that. I think this is a pretty average one. But the music is great. I can't deny that. And, even though it does come at the cost of sort of, a new song every minute and a half, and yes, there's some scenes where it's mostly plot and there aren't any songs, but, at one point they're going on like an America's Got Talent sort of audition thing, and it's a new song every 15 or 20 seconds, and that's akin to something they did back in the first one as well. So I guess we sort of have to give them that maybe they're just nodding to the original. But yeah, overall, definitely a mixed bag of a film. So thank you for watching my Sing 2 review. We'll be back with a lot more reviews in the next few weeks. Oscar season is ramping up, and some big movies at the box office as well, including the new Matrix movie, and this is probably the last big kids movie for a few months. Turning Red for Disney does not come out till March. But of course, streamers, Netflix, Disney Plus, they'll all have some smaller movies here and there for the kids that I'm sure we'll talk about. But anyway, that will do it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.